He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for another story time, and welcome to Curfew Control. I can do this. I can do this. Okay, so if you know somebody personally who have been SA'd, trauma is not something that you get over. So if somebody is constantly telling you just get over it, they have never experienced trauma. Because you don't get over it. You just learn how to live with it on a day-to-day basis. And some days are better than others. Right? Because there are still times that I jump in my sleep. I thought I had gotten better, because summer was usually the horrible, like the real bad parts. But I've noticed here lately, I've been jumping in my sleep. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, nightmare came into my mom's life. I was four or five-ish, somewhere in there. I know I remember my dad leaving around 4, so I'm like 4 or 5-ish, somewhere in there. But I do remember my breast starting to grow at 7. I do remember that, and I think I told that story time in the death of Angel Riggins. Like I go into more detail in the death of Angel Riggins, right? There are red flags everywhere, and it's kind of hard. I don't want to say it's kind of hard. I guess you just don't want to believe the red flags because you're looking at an adult who is looking at a child, right? But any person, because y'all use narcissists a lot now, but any person who's like a narcissist or calculated, the manipulation tactic is top tier. Top tier. And if you don't pay attention to it, they will make your child look like the biggest liar ever. My like chores was used to kind of start the grooming situation. And then it was also like your body is changing, so I'm showing you what not to let boys do to you. There was this situation where it got worse, and I had told my sister. Actually, is that his oldest son? Yes, because he only has 3 kids. So his oldest son actually is my classmate. And so there was this girl at his house. And so the girl at the house, Nightmare had saw the girl, and you were talking sexual about the girl, right? And his oldest son came and told me, like, he was like, don't say nothing. But he was talking about this girl. Like, he would, you know what I'm saying? Like, you were being literally like a man. If you could get away with it, you're going to do it. But you was talking sexual about this girl. I had never been to his son's house with his mom. I've never been there. So how would I know that this girl was there if the son didn't tell me? I had never been there. So how would I know? Right? And so the things that the son was telling me I was like, this, like, you cheating on my mom. Like, he didn't, as far as I know, you didn't act upon it, but you was trying to get the girl. Like, you was trying to get her, basically. And so I went to my sister because, of course, his son had told me not to say anything, but that's my mama. So I went to my sister because at this point in time, my sister was staying at my grandparents' house. Because her husband at the point in time was deployed, and she had moved back because she had a baby, and so it was like more of like the village, right? So I went to my sister, and my sister was on the phone, and I was like, I need to tell you something, but I don't want you to say anything. And so she was like, what is it? And so I started reiterating and saying the things that his son had said. And I was like, don't that sound crazy to you? Like, that's a bit much. Like, that's disrespectful. And so she was like, yeah. And I was like, but don't say nothing, because I don't know. Well, of course, the son had told me not to say nothing, but I don't know if it's true or not because I wasn't there. But I mean, what reason would the son have to lie to me? You lied a lot. But what reason would the son have to lie to me? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what reason would you have to lie about that? Right? And so she was like, yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. And I was like, no, listen, don't say anything. Let me find out, like, if this is true. And also, it's like, girl, I'm trusting you. Like, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Well, of course, lo and behold, you go and you tell. Like, you go and you tell. So you went and told mama. Mama approached him. Mama approached Nightmare. And when she approached Nightmare go off on the son. So once you went off on the son, his mom called the house and was like, put her little lying ass on the phone. Yeah, heifer, I remember. Put her lying self on the phone. And so she was like, why would you lie about that? Why would you say my son said some stuff? And I was like, girl, he did say it. Like, I ain't say girl, but I was like, but he did say it. No, you don't go back and say no stuff like that. You just making up stuff. And I was like, how can I make up stuff? I've never been to your house. So how would I know the girl was over there? She was like, my son never said no stuff. I was like, no, he said it. So he's on the phone. Of course, now I've broken his trust. And he's on the phone saying, I never said that. Would I come up with it? I've never been to your house. I've never been inside your house. So how would I know the girl was there? So she was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. These kids, they just be coming up with anything. So I was like, whatever. And so I got off the phone. Well, they thought I got off the phone, but I was listening. And so she was like, that little girl always lying. She always lying. You better get her in check before she ruin your marriage. How heifer, that fat ass nigga was touching me, was sucking on my breast, was eating out my cookie snatch as a kid. Bitch, the fuck you talking about? But here you are. He's gonna ruin your marriage. He ruined his own marriage. He was a coca addicted molester. Anyway, so it's like now my essay is now worse. I told my sister not to say nothing, but here we are. So here comes more manipulation. So it's, I told her to clean up and she's not cleaning up. Oh, she's sitting in her room and I don't feel comfortable with her sitting in her room, and I feel like she has an attitude and she don't trust me, even though I told her I was sorry. And my mom would fall for it. It was, okay, you have to come out of your room because you can't have an attitude. You can't stay to yourself. When I tell you, stuff that black women go through. I can't stay to myself at work and do my job because that's giving off something. Or I can't stay in my room and just be to myself because I don't even feel safe in my house. But that's giving off an attitude. So I need to make the assault, the person who's committing assault, feel comfortable. So once I catch on to your tactics, because you not only use this with me, you used it with my other siblings too. Like, my siblings was on their way out, but you would use chores to create a wedge between my mom and them. Dishes, cleaning the bathroom. Like, you would use different tactics. You would even go out in the community and start rumors. You started rumors about my sister. Started rumors about me. You were promising me to street pharmacists for payment. Like, it was, or you were telling them like you had a way in to, because you used to come and say, don't you like him? No. The story is not long. I just need you to be careful with watching your kids and the manipulation that happens between, and not necessarily with a dude, sometimes with females too. My single fathers. Be very careful, because sometimes the way you love on your kids, there's an envy from your lady. Just be careful and watch the manipulation and how she wants to create a wedge between you and your children. And that's what Nightmare was doing. You were constantly creating a wedge between me and my mom. So this one particular night, my bedtime was 8:00. And so I was like, most of the time when y'all telling me to go to bed, like, y'all are still up, y'all, the TV is still loud, you're walking around, y'all cooking, y'all laughing, so I can't really go to sleep. So can you, like, push it to 9:00? And so she was like, and I was like, let's give it a trial. So let's give it 2 weeks. And if I'm late, or if my grades slip, or if I'm getting in trouble in school, like if I miss the bus, then okay, I can see you pushing it back to 8:00. And so she was like, well, okay, well, let's give it a try. Right? So around this point in time, like, I'm enjoying the extra hour, right? So my mom is upstairs. She had already went to bed, and I'm watching TV. So Nightmare comes home from wherever he was, and you walk in because, of course, the lights is on downstairs because that's where my room was. So I'm downstairs and I'm in the family room, and the lights is on, and I'm on, I'm watching TV. And so you come beeline, like, you don't even go to speak to my mama. You don't go to acknowledge your wife at all. You beeline downstairs, and you come and you do this. You should be in bed right now. You should be in bed right now. And I said, Mama changed it. What? Mama changed it. She didn't change. She didn't talk to me. She didn't say anything to me. She didn't run it by me first. Hold the. Mama changed it. Oh, we'll see. We'll see about that. I bet you're lying. Nah, that's your job. So you went upstairs. I didn't say that out loud. I said it in my head. So you went upstairs, and remember, my mom was asleep, but you woke her up. So now there's an argument upstairs. And I hear you because I go up the stairs to listen, because essaying has taught me to be 2 steps ahead. Listen. Figure out what you're using. What's your tactic? Which is why it's like Some of my OCD, majority of my OCD comes from being SA, because it's like, okay, let me go ahead and clean up. Let me put this in order. Let me put this together. Let me put this there. Let me get this. Let me get this. You can't come in here and say dishes, vacuum, sweep the porch, dust. All that's done by the time you come home. So there's no need for me to even be here. So I can say, hey, mama, or even before you get here, because I need to be out of here because I don't want you touching me. So I'll get all that done and then leave. And it was one point you got ahead of me because the vacuum cleaner was broke, and you went outside and you put dirt all on the floor, and I had to sweep the carpet with a broom, and then I couldn't go outside for a week because you called my mama and told my mama, like, oh, she didn't do her chores. I did, but you went outside and brought the dirt on the inside, so I would stay in so you can assault me for a week because you didn't want me outside. You want me inside so you can touch me. Anyway, so there's she's manipulating you. She's lying to you. She can be asleep. Like, so my mother was baffled because she's trying to figure out. She was like, why you just can't give it a chance? Like, why are you so angry at the fact that I didn't run this by you? At the fact that I didn't ask you for your permission to let my daughter stay up for an hour? You're not my father. There is no biological connection to you at all. And you are upset and you feel like my mom needs permission from you to make decisions about me. And still to this day, even when we went for counseling with one of the leaders, and so she was like, it makes so much sense now why he used to be so upset about you playing basketball with the boys. And I used to look at her like, Mom, what? Like, I mean, it was just certain things that just didn't make sense to me. He was so upset, y'all. They argued for over an hour about her giving me an extra hour for bedtime. He wanted curfew control. He wanted to be in control of every aspect of my life because you felt like you should be. Please be careful with the red flags. Please be careful. I know there's times when you be like, I love her. I love him. There is no way my kid is lying. Please pay attention. Please don't feel like I don't want to be by myself. I don't want to start over. Please don't sacrifice your children. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.